A downpour cloaks the Scarlet Forest. Raindrops hiss against steel. The air is heavy, waiting. And somewhere deep in the trees, Arch-Tempered Uth Duna is about to be released. Arriving July 29th, this apex monster isn't just strong, it's unpredictable. So in preparation, I've put together a build, one that might help you face it more comfortably. It's based on everything we know so far, and on what we've already endured fighting Arch-Tempered Rey Dau. It's not the meta. It's not a perfect answer. But if you're a Gunlance main gearing up for the unknown, this is a solid place to start. While the full details of the fight are still under wraps, if Arch-Tempered Rey Dau taught us anything, it's that an AT title isn't just a stat buff. It's a total shift in tempo, pressure, and punishment. Rey Dau didn't just hit harder, it introduced new attacks, added aftershocks to nearly every move, and turned familiar openings into deadly traps. Now, with Arch-Tempered Uth Duna on the horizon, we're likely to face something just as disruptive. Not through elemental chaos, but through sheer aggression and erratic movement. Uth Duna already flops and flails with unpredictable patterns. And in an AT variant, those safe windows to land damage, they'll shrink fast. So based on what we've learned from AT Rey Dau and my experience with Uth Duna's base form, I've put together a preparation build designed for Gunlance mains. This one takes a Thunder Elemental approach, since Uth Duna's weakest to it, and more importantly, it's a chance to test the viability of the Lagiacrus Armour and Gunlance. What better monster to put it through its paces than an Arch-Tempered Apex? It's a matchup that makes sense on paper, and if the build holds its ground in practice, we might be looking at a strong elemental option for future content too. Let's start with the core of this build, the Exlagia Gunlance. It's a long shelling Gunlance with 220 base raw and 450 thunder element, making it a direct elemental counter against Arch-Tempered Uth Duna. What really sets it apart is its unique skill, Convert Thunder Resistance. This converts your thunder resistance directly into bonus thunder element, which means every point of resistance you stack boosts the elemental damage of your melee hits. That includes your sweeps, lunges, and Wyrmstake. And it doesn't stop there. Exlagia also comes with offensive guard level 2 baked in. That's perfect for a guard-based playstyle like Wyrmstake, Full Blast, or Burst Fire. Block just before impact, and your next attack gets a juicy damage boost. Ideal for punishing those wild, unpredictable flops from Uth Duna. Now let's talk weapon decorations. The core Gunlance picks are here. Artillery and load shells. Both essential for boosting shelling performance. But for that final slot, it depends on your preference. Want to lean into element? Slot in Thunder Attack level 1. It'll raise your thunder damage from 450 to 490. Or if you'd rather double down on offensive guard, drop in level 1 here to bring it up to level 3 total, maximizing your damage output after a perfect block. Whichever route you go, Exlagia brings a flexible, defensive, and hard-hitting option that just might carry you through Arch-Tempered Uth Duna. Let's go over the armor. This build uses a mix set that balances thunder synergy, defense, and passive healing, featuring 2 pieces of Zoh Shia and 2 pieces of Lagiacrus. First, Zoh Shia. We've already covered this armor in detail in another video, so we'll keep it brief here. Equipping 2 pieces gives you super recovery, a passive healing effect that slowly restores your health over time. It's incredibly useful for Gunlance mains who often take chip damage while blocking. Next, Lagiacrus Beta. 2 pieces unlock the Azure Bolt 1 set bonus. This deals a small amount of fixed thunder damage when attacking with melee hits, which makes it a solid pick against Arch-Tempered Uth Duna thanks to its elemental weakness. Just note that Azure Bolt has an internal cooldown of about 30 seconds. So while it doesn't trigger constantly, it adds steady, reliable damage over longer fights. And since this build already stacks Thunder Element, Azure Bolt fits right in with the overall game plan. Finally, the Archvulcan Helm Beta. This piece ties the build together with key skill support, but we'll cover its contributions in the skills and decorations section coming up next. Now let's break down the skills and decorations used in this build. At the core are 2 key armor and talisman-based skills, Convert Element and Elemental Absorption. Elemental Absorption activates when you take elemental damage. Once triggered, it boosts both your elemental attack and your resistance to the elements. That's a big win here because Uth Duna for some reason does elemental attacks despite just flapping its big belly. By just guarding its attacks, you can activate elemental absorption, gaining more thunder attack and increased resistance at the same time. That increased resistance directly powers Convert Thunder resistance, which turns your thunder resistance into bonus thunder element damage. As for Convert element, that's even more bonus damage. After guarding against an elemental attack and landing enough elemental hits, it builds up and triggers a Dragon Element Explosion. It's free damage, and as long as you're stacking melee hits, you'll be triggering it regularly. Since these two skills aren't available as decorations, or maybe I've just been unlucky, this build is shaped around armor and talisman choices that support and maximize them. Next is Burst, a standard pick for Gunlance mains. It enhances elemental damage on attacks, making it a strong addition to combos, especially Wyrmstake Full Blast. I've also included Part Breaker. This is speculative, but I suspect Uth Duna's Veil might be tied to a breakable mechanic, possibly reducing damage taken until destroyed. If that's the case, Part Breaker ensures you're prepared. Thunder resistance is at level 2, just enough to reach the Gunlance Thunder element cap of 855. Anything beyond that would be inefficient. Earplugs level 2 is added for comfort, preventing roars from interrupting Wyrmstake Full Blast, which has a long animation. Aquatic Oil Silt Mobility level 2 is here to counter Uth Duna's water effects. The waves and water zones can slow you down or throw off your positioning, so this skill keeps you mobile and accurate. Coalescence level 1 gives a small boost in damage after recovering from a status effect, helping reach the Thunder element cap and keeping your damage flowing. Any other skills in this build are passives from the armor pieces. They're not essential, but they add value. Finally, because we still don't know the full scope of Arch-Tempered Uth Duna, some of these skills are flexible. You can swap out Aquatic Mobility, Coalescence, or Part Breaker for options like Counterstrike, Full Thunder Resistance, or Heroics, depending on your preference and playstyle. But as it stands, this build gives you elemental power, defensive synergy, and the tools to handle whatever Uth Duna throws at you. That wraps up the breakdown of this preparation build for Arch-Tempered Uth Duna. We've covered the weapon, armor, skills, and decorations, all geared toward giving Gunlance mains a solid, element-focused loadout to handle whatever this fight brings. But theory is one thing. How does it perform in the field? Right after this, I've included a full demo hunt using this exact setup, so stick around if you want to see how it holds up against the apex of Scarlet Forest. If you found this build helpful, consider dropping a like, leaving a comment with your own prep ideas, and subscribing for more Gunlance content in Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm Marneus, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next hunt.